I'll share a couple of slides, but before that, just to say that the presentation has been fantastic so far. So all what I could do is reinforce some of the great ideas and perceptions in this presentation. As it was said, is we've been ourselves in our new social scientific cooperative working on AI applications, and what was in front of us until DeepSeek was only OpenAI. And we innovated in a bit. We tried to use a human-assisted reinforcement learning to some success. Also tried to persuade GPT-4 to analyze itself and come up with better answers, and that was very good. But also we understood that GPT-4 and OpenAI and the similar ones from the USA, really, they talk about new liberal Western narratives, and we can't use it as part of a big project we started called the Iraqi Memory Project. So we went by creating our own memory through using a vector embedding, and so that all the memory is done by sources that come from Iraq and the Middle East. And we've been quite successful in that. But DeepSeek, of course, and things like this give us much better freedom now. So let me share the screen. I hope you could see it. Okay, everybody can see it, can it? Is it?
Yeah, we can see it.
Okay. Okay, so really I'm talking, I would like to talk about what they call, what the DeepSeek people call it the aha moment. And the aha moment is when they were training DeepSeek R1 zero on a mathematical equation. The DeepSeek suddenly said, wait, I can do it differently. I can do this equation differently. Aha. And really, that was the aha moment for DeepSeek, where reinforced learning, which is the method used by the DeepSeek developer, discovered to be able to unlock new levels of intelligence in artificial systems. As the DeepSeek themselves saying, is paved the way for more autonomous and adaptive models in the future. So really, is this rather than OpenAI's approach of a human-assisted reinforced learning, which is very expensive and takes a lot of resources, DeepSeek went through another system of its own autonomous, with the right incentives, reinforced learning. And the aha moment is when it was proven to be the case, and it was an aha movement for DeepSeek themselves. That's what they said, because they discovered that really they have now the potential for moving into their real goal, which is what is called general OpenAI, general AI, where it is much more intelligent and can do things for itself. And it is what KJ Noah mentioned in his presentation when he talks about open up the intellectual commons. Uh, that's the real aim of the DeepSeek developers, who, as he said, and as they say, really they are not going for profit. They are going for creating, for being a research and development, creating this huge knowledge for humanity and for Chinese developers, and that's what they are working on. Uh, and and there is tremendous movement in China now by a huge number of AI developers taking advantage of what DeepSeek done, and which is the intention of the DeepSeek people. It is open source, it is transparent, as opposed to being closed source and not transparent, which is what OpenAI is. Uh, and and that's what's happening. So it is an aha movement for China as well. And probably Xi Jinping and the Communist Party would have said at the same time, aha. And what is their aha really? It's different aha. Is that the Chinese government and the Chinese Communist Party has been developing a system for years that encourage enterprise and innovation in the whole of the Chinese society. So, as an example, from 2000 and 2017 or 2000 until 2017, really, the Chinese government have invested about 900 billion in new technology. About 30% of it was on AI, 900 billion. And and then 2023, 2024, I calculated that the Chinese Communist Party probably have invested close to 250 billion into AI developing, going into about 6,000 companies. So rather than having while in the USA as a comparison, the venture capitalist investment has been about 500 billion, but really most of it is in the top company, the what we call it, the clique of seven, who invest in their own, and they go for investment that just benefit the very few top investments. So what you have in China now is before DeepSeek, but certainly after DeepSeek, a huge vibrancy of innovation, not only in AI but in robotics. And the movie by Li Jing of that robotics was an example of it. Robotics and EV, in all kind of technologies that are linked together, and it's part of what I call the fourth industrial revolution, where AI is actually a meta revolution. It's not a revolution, it's a meta revolution that control all the other revolutions. That's what's different now. We are moving into a completely new type of revolution where China has demonstrated that it is leading. So while USA is stalling on different fronts, because of their economic system, because of the way it is constructed, China is expanded, and that's why I call it an aha moment for China, and it is an aha movement for the world as well. Why is that? You know, USA, when they came up with AI, they thought really, and that goes back a few years, that that they have managed to make a big lead over China. So they said, let's isolate China. So even if everybody knows OpenAI is not available for China, as well as not available for a number of troublesome countries, including Iran and so on. You can't access AI in there. They thought we could isolate China on the AI front, we could isolate it on the chip front, and we could create supremacy, and we could have these super data centers in Texas as elsewhere, where everybody goes to there. So the new Mecca for technology, for dominance worldwide, is in the US, where USA will retain leadership that is lost for to some extent, and the world has to be just the slaves of the USA. And this is shattered. This is completely shattered by China going for open source technology available to the world, starting with the Global AI Initiative. So really, I call it an aha moment, not only for DeepSeek, but for China and the world. And that's the significance of it. We have talking about a completely new technology. And let's talk about now about what's happening in the USA. You know, I mean, this inauguration of Trump symbolizes really who is in real power in the USA now. I call them, as Yanis Varoufakis called them, the techno-feudals. And actually, a lot of now even you know, deep stream economists in the USA, um, like what's his name, Darren Acemoglu, who got the Nobel Prize for Economics, are talking about the same thing. They call it differently, but they're talking about the new capitalism, which is techno-feudalism, is these big seven and others who control the data, and we are simply, by using WhatsApp and Facebook and so on, we are actually slaves in that feudal system. And they control it completely, and they control the US policy. And what are the symbols of it? As the question is, they are the new class in USA? I mean, Yanis argues in his book, is that really this is exactly the same as when you had transformation from feudalism to capitalism. in Adam Smith's book, where although you could see the dominant technology is car making and everything, really the controlling class is this one, is the techno-feudals. And the techno-feudal, the problem with them is that, I mean, we have the new regulation that there's no control what they do, no regulation on AI. So AI could be used for bad. And you know, my colleague very nicely mentioned, KJ Noah mentioned how it's been used in the occupied Palestine and Israel. And it's very funny. I mean, I did a very quick research, and these Magnificent Seven, they invest close to 100 billion in Israel, mostly on AI and security. 100 billion. So you would bet that a large part of their investment in AI and so on in Israel would have gone into these killing AI that resulted in the genocide in Gaza. So there is no regulation on AI. They could make as much profit as they can. They could use it for war. They could use it for whatever. And they strive for huge profits. The way taxes are being cut will result in huge profits. So what does it mean? What it means is that with their economic model is actually not distributed. That's the big problem that faces the USA. While the technology is distributed, and the way is gone with DeepSeek and by being available on little devices, by being open by everybody, technology is really is distributed, but the ownership model in the US, in the West, is actually very vertical. So you have these people, they are all billionaires, they own thousands of millions and so on, and they control the destiny of all of us. They control the destiny of us who use their system for managing content, and they control the destiny of their people. But so technology is distributed, but the ownership is vertical. And this is a very, very big problem. It will lead to stagnation in the USA, and that's what's happening, while it will lead to vibrancy and innovation in China and hopefully in the rest of the world. And this is really the crisis we are facing now. We are having very advanced technology with AI, level of intelligence that we never had before, where and could be used for bad, but actually there is a limit what they could do, because by being more profitable without real creation. I mean, DeepSeek have reduced the the shareholding by $1 trillion US, because all the money they are putting in these data centers and everything, they can't create really the wealth for it unless they exploit more. There's no real foundation for creation because their technology is stagnation. It means only very few can expand on it. This is unsustainable. So we have this problem. So there is a contrast between two words: a socialist system with market driven or with market direction that is vibrant, and that's going to be ever more innovative in China, and we are seeing only the beginning of it, and a stagnant system in the USA. And they thought they won it all by controlling AI. They lost this thing, and that's the real battle and the real world that we live in. Thank you very much.